What's good, Josh? I got Makai. Welcome back to my channel. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that nonsense. And if we're being honest, the NBA Finals this year is just boring. It's just whack. It's just not all that we expected it to be. All of us being NBA fans and all that. Cause it's like I'm happy for LeBron winning his most likely winning his fourth championship. See the LeBron jersey right there. But the way it's happening is just so anticlimactic and so just whack and boring and just not exciting at all. Like, and it reminds me of when KD and the Warriors is in the finals against LeBron and those Cavs teams, and it's like we already know what's gonna happen. Like, we know KD and the Warriors are gonna win. There's no excitement. There's no drama. No suspense. It's just you just know exactly what's gonna happen. And NBA ratings have dropped significantly over like past year. They say it's dropped about 50% from compared to last year. So I think the whole world just knows, the Lakers are gonna win. It's gonna be an easy series to win. And I just thought the season would just end more dramatically. I didn't think it would go down like this. Because after all Miami went through to get to the finals, they shocked the world by nearly sweeping the Bucks. And all the turmoil that the Lakers went through this year, and how they beat Denver, they beat Houston, they beat Portland, and there were exciting moments in this bubble. Like the Clippers lost that 3-1 lead. Dame carried his team to the playoffs. And that Game 7 between Houston and OKC, Game 7 Utah, Denver, Game 7 Denver and the Clippers. There were a lot of good moments. Game 7, I believe, Raptors and Celtics. There were just a lot of good moments, a lot of great moments in the bubble. But for it to just end this way is just so anticlimactic. Like I said earlier, it's just so boring and whack. Cause it's like we went through all of that. Like, we went through months without basketball, and we didn't even know basketball was coming back. Like, we weren't sure. And we get the news that basketball's coming back. We're excited as hell, and it's just like, what a great day for NBA fans. When Woj dropped that tweet, the NBA is back. I got that screenshot on my phone. Like, that was an iconic moment for me right there. But like, the way it's just going down is just whack. And we also had that scare when they shot Jacob Blake, shot him 8 times in his back. There was also that scare that the NBA players didn't want to play anymore. There was that strike for the protest. And we thought basketball was going to get canceled there as well, because it was reported LeBron and the Lakers walked out and they just said, you know what, forget about this season. We can't keep going through this, which is a message that I respect, of course. But went through all of that, got to the playoffs, got to the finals. And the Heat, they've been such a shockingly surprising, successful team. You know what I'm saying? But they're trying their best in the finals, but it just doesn't help that on top of them getting blown out in Game 1, they lose Bam Adebayo and Goran Dragic, the best bench scorer, I believe. Well, I think he did. He used to come off the bench for Kendrick Nunn, but I think they switched him to the starting lineup when Kendrick Nunn fell out of rotation. And Bam Adebayo, I thought he could give Anthony Davis a better, he'd do a better job of guarding him, but AD just looks unstoppable. Like, he's just getting whatever he wants against the Heat. It's just crazy. And LeBron, in Game 1, he didn't really do, a whole lot. A lot of those points were garbage time minutes. A lot of those points were garbage time, points and stuff. But in Game 2, AD and LeBron just came out looking unstoppable. And it's just like, the Heat just have no answer for this, defensively or offensively. And, Jimmy Butler did his best. He put on the point guard hat last night. He tried to, will his team to a win. But it just couldn't happen. Like, there's just not much you can do against the Lakers. He keep trying that zone defense that worked against the Celtics, but it's just not working against the Lakers. They're just finding holes in it, and they're just scoring no matter what defense you try to throw at them. But yeah, the whole point of this video, I guess, is as an NBA fan, I'm just disappointed. Like, of course, I'm happy seeing the Lakers win. I'm not a Lakers fan. I'm a Bulls fan, by the way. I support LeBron. I like LeBron since I started watching basketball. But it's just like, I wish it was more exciting. I wish it was more of a fight. If it was 2-1 right now, I'd be happy. Like, even if the Lakers lost Game 1, I'd be happy. But the Lakers didn't even do the usual and lose game one and have the whole world in a frenzy. Like, oh, are they ready to win this series? Are they gonna lose in the finals? Like, there were really some people out there saying that the Lakers could lose this finals. I mean, if you're a logical NBA fan, you knew there was literally no chance of the Lakers losing this finals. So I guess, I'm happy for Dwight Howard though. He finally get his first ring, and a lot of people don't have him as a Hall of Famer in their book, but in my book, he's a Hall of Famer right now with no ring. But with a ring that he was actually a great part of, he contributed to this ring. I think it further cements his legacy as a Hall of Famer because he just did so much early on in his career. He dragged that Atlanta team to the finals. Not something a lot of big men, did in that era. But yeah, the finals is just boring this year. Like, to say it outright, it's just boring. Like, I find myself I turn the game on, I'm just doing other stuff. Like, I can't focus on a game where it's like every bucket they're about 20. And then, the Heat, they tried to fight and claw their way back into the game last night. They got it in the fourth quarter. I think it was around a 10-point lead, but it just wasn't enough. They don't have enough. They don't have that, superstar scorer to just take over the game like that. And, it doesn't help that Tyler Hero, he isn't doing what he was doing. The Lakers are playing real good defense on the shooters. Duncan Robinson, he's not getting none of that, ball handoff stuff that he used to get earlier in the playoffs. But yeah, I'll say it again. This finals is boring. It's giving me 2018 vibes where we just knew KD was and the Warriors are gonna win. And that was the team without Kyrie on that team. It was LeBron, Kevin Love, J.R. Smith, and just a bunch of pieces like Jordan Clarkson, Rodney Hood. So that was one of the worst finals I ever saw. But at least in game one of that finals, LeBron gave us a 51-point masterpiece. So we had something to be excited about. I kid you not, I think I've been excited for about a quarter of this year's finals, honestly. Because in game one, when the Heat were up by 13, and I was like, oh my goodness. Could they actually just, pull it off? But, the Lakers came back from that lead, and they haven't looked back ever since. I don't think they've been down ever since they came back from that 13-point lead. And it's just, it's sad to see the Heat go out this way. They fought all year, climbed out of the Eastern Conference, their head held high, and, they trying to stay confident. Jimmy Butler is saying, this ain't over yet, and we're going to win. And that is the attitude to have, but, there's such a point where confidence turns into delusion, and it's just over. And everybody knows it's over, and it's just ruining the whole NBA experience. Of course, it's fun to see good basketball being played. It's always fun. Any basketball game is always fun to watch, but when you know the outcome of it, it's decreasingly less fun to watch, in my opinion. But yeah, if you stayed to the end of this video, thank you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.